The Plague Doctor's Last Dance. Complete Renaissance epic. Close your eyes and let the tolling of cathedral bells carry you back to Venice in the year of our Lord 1665. When the Black Death stalks through marble palaces and narrow canals, while masked figures dance at glittering balls that may be their last. This is the tale of 6 souls whose destinies intertwine during one catastrophic summer. When plague and politics, love and death, science and superstition collide in the most spectacular city on earth. Welcome to the age when Europe trembled, on the knife's edge between medieval darkness and enlightened dawn. Part 1. The Gathering Shadows. Day 1, August 10th, 1665. You are Dr. Alessandro Benedetti, and the dawn mist rises from the Grand Canal like the breath of dying saints as you adjust the leather beak of your plague mask. Its glass-eyed visage reflecting a city that teeters between magnificent beauty and apocalyptic horror. The aromatic herbs packed within the mask's elongated nose, rosemary from Tuscan hills, thyme gathered by moonlight, and precious cloves from distant Indies, create a fragrant barrier against the corrupted air that carries death through Venice's labyrinthine waterways. Your morning begins before the bells of San Marco announce prime, when the city still dreams and only the early merchants and fishing boats share the canals with death itself. The leather bag that never leaves your side contains instruments that bridge medieval wisdom and emerging science. Bloodletting lancets, glass vials of quicksilver compounds, primitive thermoscopes, and most importantly, leather-bound notebooks, where you record observations that challenge everything. Padua University taught about disease. The gondolier, Giovanni Moretto, whispers as his oar cuts through water darkened with ash from countless funeral pyres. Or, they say, even the Doge shows signs of the sickness. Is it true that not even God's anointed are safe? Your first patient of the day dwells in a palazzo that once housed the Venetian ambassador to Constantinople. Young Paolo Soronzo lies unconscious on linen sheets, worth more than most families see in a lifetime. Yet wealth cannot purchase exemption from death's democracy. His mother, Contessa Maria, pleads through her pomander stuffed with costly spices. Doctor, you must save my son. The fever burned through the night, and this morning the swellings appeared. As you examine the boy, your trained eye notices something disturbing. The fever pattern is wrong. The buboes appear too symmetrical. The progression too rapid, yet too controlled. This is not the chaotic corruption of plague. This is systematic, deliberate. Someone is murdering Venice's children and calling it pestilence. Curious, you murmur to yourself, making careful notes in cipher. Most curious indeed. But you keep these observations private. In a city where accusation of witchcraft follows suspicion of poisoning, discretion preserves life better than any medicine. Meanwhile, in the Palazzo district, where marble facades conceal desperate political maneuvering, Caterina Grimaldi stands at her window watching funeral barges carry Venice's dead toward San Michele. At 28, she possesses beauty that could have secured advantageous marriage to any European court. Yet she has chosen to remain unwed, dedicating herself to preserving her dying city's independence. Her private chambers occupy the piano nobile of Palazzo Grimaldi, where this morning she decodes letters that arrive through channels so secret that even she doesn't know their complete roots. The first message, ostensibly from a silk merchant in Lyons, reveals French military preparations through numerical codes. Embedded in fabric descriptions, the new patterns you requested show excellent craftsmanship. 40,000 ells of the finest material ready for delivery within the fortnight. 40,000 troops. 2 weeks. The second letter from Amsterdam speaks of pepper crop quality and transportation insurance costs. Dutch intelligence about Spanish naval movements that could coordinate with French land forces. The third, most disturbing of all, comes from her cousin Isabella in Vienna, revealing Austrian plans for cultural suppression that would eliminate Venice's intellectual freedom. As she burns the decoded messages, her maid Lucia enters with mourning, chocolate, and gossip. Madonna. The servants speak of strange happenings in the Ghetto Nuovo. A Jewish woman performs medical miracles, healing plague victims whom Christian doctors abandon to die. Caterina's political mind immediately grasps the intelligence value if unconventional treatments prove effective. The implications could reshape European power by determining which populations survive with strength to influence future developments. 3 districts away. In the arsenal workshops where the sound of hammers creates industrial symphony, Marco Foglia examines plans for innovations that could restore Venice's naval supremacy. He represents 3 generations of military engineers whose expertise built the fleet that once dominated every sea from Gibraltar to Constantinople. The morning light illuminates his secret workspace, where prototype weapons reflect months of theoretical development. His latest design, artillery pieces with innovative loading systems that could triple firing rates while maintaining accuracy, represents technological advantages that might compensate for Venice's numerical disadvantages, but increasingly by his loyalty waivers. The letters hidden in his tool chest come from Cardinal Mazarin's agents, offering wealth and recognition that Venice cannot provide. The technical innovations that Venetian craftsmen have achieved merit support that smaller political entities cannot offer. The latest correspondence suggests French resources could enable developments that advance human knowledge while serving legitimate security interests. Young Pietro Contani, his assistant, interrupts these troubled thoughts. Marco. The new alloy composition shows remarkable results. If we solve the cooling problems, these weapons could restore Venice's dominance. Within months, Marco forces enthusiasm into his voice, while his mind calculates the growing temptation of foreign gold. Pietro. Technical excellence means nothing without political will. The Doge's reports suggest Venice lacks funds for major military expenditures. In Ghetto Nuovo, where morning prayers in Hebrew connect contemporary worshippers with ancestral traditions, Miriam Bat Abraham prepares medicines that blend ancient wisdom with careful observation. At 32, she possesses medical knowledge that Christian physicians lack despite their university training. Her small house contains treasures more valuable than gold. Manuscripts preserving healing wisdom accumulated across centuries. Astronomical texts enabling precise festival calculations. And correspondence with Jewish communities whose survival depends upon sharing treatment. Knowledge that government physicians either don't know or refuse to acknowledge. Before dawn, desperate footsteps approach. Maria Contarne, wife of a silk merchant, brings gold coins representing genuine sacrifice. Please, little Francesca burns with fever that 3 doctors cannot reduce. Father Giuseppe says we must prepare for God's will, but I cannot accept. Divine mercy requires my daughter's death when human knowledge might provide healing. Miriam's examination reveals symptoms. Her training enables recognition, not plague, but poisoning. The compounds create effects resembling pestilence. Yet careful observation shows differences proper knowledge can identify. The child suffers deliberate poisoning, not plague. The treatments differ completely from those infection would require. The revelation creates complications extending beyond medical concerns. Deliberate poisoning implies criminal activity requiring civil investigations. Yet her position as a Jewish woman limits ability to provide evidence Christian courts would accept. Near the Rialto Bridge, where morning rehearsals prepare for evening performances, Giacomo Benedetto examines scripts that blend traditional entertainment with political commentary. At 29, he represents theatrical traditions that preserve performance techniques developed through generations of innovation. His theater occupies a building whose Renaissance architecture creates visual harmony while ensuring diverse audiences whose reactions provide feedback about comedic effectiveness and satirical messages. The morning light illuminates stage areas where painted backdrops create contexts for performances, transporting audiences into imaginative worlds where truth emerges through artistic representation. Remember, he instructs his company during rehearsal. Our audience includes foreign visitors whose governments suspect Venice of harboring dissidents, officials whose loyalty may be questionable, and citizens whose survival depends upon recognizing truth despite propaganda. Each group must find appropriate meaning, while none should accuse us of statements transcending acceptable entertainment. His secret correspondence with writers and intellectuals challenges official interpretations, while providing alternative perspectives mainstream discourse cannot safely express. Father Antonio Vieira provides theological framework for social criticism, while Professor Giovanni Sagredo offers philosophical analysis, legitimizing resistance to tyrannical authority. Finally, in shadowed alleyways where official authority weakens, Elena Morosini begins her day trading information that determine Venice's fate. At 31, circumstances destroyed her social foundations, forcing adaptation to realities privileged. Society prefers to ignore Dot in a tavern near the Rialto, where international traders conduct business requiring discretion. She meets Count Alessandro Pisani, His aristocratic bearing cannot conceal desperation, driving respectable nobles to seek information through condemned channels. Madonna Elena, I require intelligence about French military intentions. Rumors suggest intervention within the month, yet official sources provide no reliable information about timing or objectives. She studies the gold purse he places beside his wine, Count Pisani. Such intelligence involves military planning at French government's highest levels, information fewer than a dozen individuals possess. Sources providing such knowledge demand compensation reflecting both risks and strategic value. The intelligence she possesses, obtained through Cardinal Mazarin's network contacts, indicates preparations exceeding diplomatic pressure requirements, actual conquest plans, eliminating Venice as independent power. The preparations involve 3 army corps, totaling 40,000 men, she reveals. Timeline suggests mobilization within 10 days, with movements appearing as routine border adjustments rather than major military preparation. Day to August 11th, 1665. The morning brings unexpected connection between separate investigations. Dr. Benedetti, examining another plague victim in the San Polo district, discovers the same systematic poisoning pattern. But this time, he's not alone in his suspicions as he emerges from the victim's house, still wearing his ominous plague doctor costume. He nearly collides with an elegantly dressed woman whose presence in this plague-stricken area seems incongruous. Caterina Grimaldi studies him with intelligent eyes that miss nothing. "Doctor," she says carefully, "might I speak with you? I believe we have mutual interests regarding the unusual nature of recent deaths, Alessandro Benedetti. Trust comes hard to a man whose profession brings mostly death despite his efforts. But something in her manner suggests knowledge rather than desperate hope. Madonna, these are dangerous times for dangerous conversations. If you seek medical consultation, my services are available through proper channels. I seek truth. Dr. Buys, I believe you do." She produces a small scroll from her sleeve. "This morning, I received intelligence about systematic murder disguised as plague deaths. Your reputation suggests you might have made similar observations." The coded message she shows him correlates with his medical findings. Specific families, targeted, all connected by either wealth or political influence opposing foreign intervention. Alessandro feels the first stirring of hope that his isolated investigation might not be futile. "Perhaps," he says carefully, "we should continue this discussion somewhere more private." Their meeting that afternoon in the private chapel of Palazzo Grimaldi, where religious observances provide cover for treasonous discussions, marks the beginning of their collaboration. Caterina's political intelligence provides context for Alessandro's medical discoveries, while his scientific evidence supports her accusations of foreign conspiracy. The pattern extends throughout the city. Alessandro confides while examining her coded correspondence. Wealthy merchants opposing foreign influence. Minor nobles whose loyalty cannot be questioned. Skilled artisans serving military purposes, all eliminated through methods appearing to be natural plague deaths. The timing correlates with increased foreign pressure, Katerina responds, studying his medical notes. Each death removes someone whose influence could organize resistance to conquest. They're not merely killing people. They're systematically destroying Venice's capacity for self-defense. Meanwhile, Marco Falia's mourning brings disturbing news from the Arsenal's intelligence network. Foreign agents have been asking specific questions about his innovations, suggesting security breaches that could compromise Venice's technological advantages. His unease deepens when a messenger delivers an unsigned note. The mechanical improvements you've achieved deserve recognition. Those who appreciate innovation might find opportunities for collaboration beneficial to all parties concerned. The old bridge at sunset. Marco recognizes the code phrases from previous French correspondence. His hand trembles slightly as he realizes he's been identified as a potential asset for foreign intelligence. The meeting could provide information about enemy plans, but it could also be a trap designed to eliminate someone whose loyalty they can't purchase. That evening, as sunset paints the Grand Canal gold and crimson, Marco approaches the designated bridge with weapons concealed beneath his craftsman's apron. The figure waiting in shadows proves to be neither French agent nor Venetian trap, but Elena Morosini, Master Folia. She says, without preamble, we need to discuss mutual interests regarding certain foreign approaches you've received. Marco's engineering mind immediately grasps the implications. You monitor correspondence that doesn't belong to you. I monitor correspondence that threatens Venice's survival. The French agents contacting you also approach others whose expertise serves their conquest plans. Perhaps we should consider a coordinated response rather than individual decisions that could prove unfortunate. Their conversation reveals the scope of foreign recruitment efforts targeting Venice's essential personnel. Elena's intelligence network has identified systematic attempts to corrupt military engineers, government officials, wealthy merchants, and cultural leaders whose collaboration could eliminate resistance before conquest begins. They're not merely planning invasion, Elena explains. They're engineering systematic betrayal that makes military action unnecessary. Venice could fall without a single battle if enough key individuals accept their offers. Meanwhile, in the Ghetto Nouveau, Miriam's evening brings an unexpected visitor. Dr. Benedetti stands at her door, his plague mask creating ominous silhouette against lamplight. But his manner suggests consultation rather than accusation. I understand. You've made observations about systematic poisoning disguised as plague. He begins carefully. My own investigations suggest similar patterns. Perhaps collaboration could serve truth better than individual effort, despite religious barriers normally preventing such cooperation. Professional curiosity and shared commitment to healing overcome social prejudice. Their examination of tissue samples and poison residues reveals sophisticated knowledge of chemistry and anatomy, requiring extensive education. The perpetrators understand metabolic processes, but lack knowledge of diagnostic traces, Miriam observes. While analyzing compounds, Their foreign training provides advantages while creating vulnerabilities local knowledge could exploit. The coordination suggests organizational capability beyond individual criminal activity. Alessandro adds, "We face conspiracy rather than random murder, systematic elimination of specific targets rather than random plague deaths." Their collaboration, unprecedented in Venice's history, demonstrates possibilities for social cooperation transcending religious boundaries when survival requires unified resistance to common threats. Day 3, August 12, 1665. The morning brings Giacomo Benedetto into contact with a growing conspiracy through theatrical channels that prove surprisingly effective for intelligence gathering. His performance the previous evening included subtle references to systematic murder, and the audience reactions revealed both popular suspicions and official nervousness about such suggestions. After the performance, a young woman approaches whose aristocratic bearing suggests noble birth, despite her careful attempt at disguise. "Your theatrical observations touch upon truths that direct discussion would render dangerous," she says quietly. Perhaps artistic presentation could serve purposes beyond mere entertainment. Caterina Grimaldi, recognizing theatrical communities' potential for both intelligence gathering and popular mobilization, seeks alliance with artists whose performances reach audiences conventional political discourse cannot engage. Her meeting with Giacomo at the Kafsk Florian, where morning chocolate and political gossip create perfect camouflage for seditious planning, establishes framework for using theatrical productions to prepare popular resistance. The audience response suggests widespread suspicion about official explanations, Giacomo reports. Yet their fear prevents investigation that could expose systematic murder. Theatrical representation could provide emotional preparation while creating psychological foundation for resistance rational arguments alone cannot establish. Their collaboration expands when Elena Morosini joins their conversation, her intelligence about foreign conspiracy providing factual foundation for artistic presentations that must balance truth with entertainment value. The popular mood requires careful management, she observes. Revelation must seem to emerge naturally from artistic expression rather than deliberate political propaganda. By afternoon, the three conspirators have developed plans for coordinated revelation combining Caterina's political authority, Giacomo's theatrical capabilities, and Elena's intelligence network. But they recognize their efforts require technical expertise and medical evidence that their current alliance cannot provide. The solution comes through Caterina's servant network, which has already identified both Dr. Benedetti's medical investigation and Marco Foglia's technical capabilities as resources essential for comprehensive resistance. Messages conveyed through carefully orchestrated chants. Encounters bring all 6 individuals into coordination by the day's end. The first complete meeting of all 6 conspirators takes place that evening in the hidden chamber beneath San Marco, where Byzantine mosaics celebrating Venice's Eastern heritage provide visual reminder of the city's historical role, bridging different civilizations. The location, chosen for maximum security and symbolic significance, enables frank discussion of threats and capabilities that individual efforts could never address effectively. Dr. Benedetti arrives first, his plague doctor's mask creating appropriately ominous atmosphere. My medical investigations prove systematic poisoning serving political objectives. He begins. Deaths attributed to plague include dozens actually resulting from chemical compounds, simulating pestilence symptoms while eliminating individuals whose patriotic activities threaten foreign conquest. Katerina emerges from altar shadows, her aristocratic authority commanding attention, while her intelligence provides strategic context. The correspondence from my European network confirms systematic planning involving multiple foreign powers. French preparation involves 40,000 troops. Spanish coordinate naval movements. Austrian diplomacy provides legal justification for eliminating republican institutions threatening monarchical legitimacy throughout Europe. Marco peers through concealed arsenal connections. Engineering expertise providing both practical capabilities and military assessment. The weapons innovations I've developed could restore naval supremacy, yet effectiveness depends upon resources and coordination current circumstances make questionable. The new artillery provides decisive naval advantages, while fortification improvements could make the city impregnable against siege warfare. Miriam enters through Jewish quarter tunnels, medical knowledge providing crucial poisoning analysis. The chemical investigation confirms deliberate murder requiring sophisticated toxicology knowledge. The pattern suggests coordination between foreign agents and domestic collaborators, eliminating Venetian patriots, while creating public fear, justifying extraordinary governmental measures. Giacomo arrives with theatrical timing, artistic sensibilities, providing public opinion understanding. The theatrical community creates perfect intelligence network. Our audiences include foreign agents whose reactions reveal concerns, officials whose comments indicate loyalties, and citizens whose responses suggest popular readiness for resistance. Direct political organization could never achieve. Elena appears last from shadows, spies intelligence, providing final conspiracy confirmation. The coordinated attack begins within days. French forces cross Venetian territory August 18th. Spanish naval units blockade Adriatic approaches. Austrian diplomats present ultimatum demanding surrender of republican institutions in exchange for commercial prosperity preservation while eliminating political independence. Day 4, August 13th, 1665. Their first coordinated action tests both individual capabilities and group coordination, while establishing trust necessary for operations, requiring perfect timing and extraordinary courage. The plan involves exposing one aspect of the conspiracy through carefully orchestrated revelation that demonstrates their combined effectiveness without revealing the full scope of their organization. The target, Dr. Filippo Grimani, identified through Miriam's investigation as the physician providing poison compounds while falsifying death certificates attributing murders to plague infection. His exposure would provide proof of systematic murder while maintaining operational security for broader conspiracy investigation. Alessandro's role involves conducting public medical examination that reveals poisoning evidence, while political connections ensure official investigation despite potential government resistance. Marco provides technical analysis of poison delivery methods. Miriam contributes chemical expertise, enabling identification of specific compounds. Giacomo creates theatrical framework, transforming medical revelation into dramatic public presentation. And Elena's intelligence ensures timing that maximizes impact while minimizing enemy countermeasures. The operation takes place during morning medical consultations at the Ospedale della Pietà, where public setting ensures maximum witness testimony, while religious atmosphere provides moral authority supporting accusations of systematic murder. Alessandro's examination of recent plague victims, conducted with unusual thoroughness that attracts attention from other physicians, reveals evidence that conventional diagnosis cannot explain. Observe the pattern of tissue damage, he announces, while displaying samples that Miriam's chemical analysis has prepared. The cellular structure indicates toxic exposure rather than bacterial infection, while the compound residues suggest deliberate administration of substances whose effects simulate plague symptoms. The revelation creates immediate controversy among medical witnesses, yet the evidence proves sufficiently compelling that official investigation becomes unavoidable. Dr. Grimani's attempt to dismiss the accusations as foreign propaganda designed to create medical confusion fails when chemical analysis provides undeniable proof of systematic poisoning that his death certificates concealed. Caterina's intervention at the crucial moment, using aristocratic authority to demand legal investigation, prevents the matter from being dismissed as medical dispute while ensuring governmental response that legitimizes their accusations. These revelations concern criminal activity that threatens every Venetian family, she declares. Medical evidence requires legal examination that serves justice rather than professional convenience. The success of their first coordinated operation establishes confidence in their collective capabilities, while providing proof that systematic resistance could achieve results individual efforts never could accomplish. More importantly, the public exposure of medical conspiracy creates popular awareness that prepares ground for broader revelations about foreign threats and domestic collaboration. But their success also alerts enemy agents that organized resistance exists, forcing accelerated timeline for foreign military action, while increasing dangers facing all conspiracy members. The response comes within hours, as increased surveillance and systematic questioning of potential dissidents indicates foreign intelligence now recognizes existence of coordinated opposition requiring elimination. Part 2. The Dance of Deception. Day 5. August 14th, 1665. The morning brings retaliation, that tests their security arrangements while demonstrating enemy capabilities for counterintelligence that exceed what individual resistance could overcome. Systematic searches of potential safe houses, increased surveillance of suspected dissidents, and strategic arrests of peripheral figures indicate foreign agents possess detailed knowledge of Venice's resistance networks. Marco's morning brings disturbing intelligence from Arsenal contacts. Foreign agents have been conducting detailed reconnaissance of military facilities while asking specific questions about defensive capabilities and weapons innovations. His engineering workshop shows signs of careful search despite security measures that should prevent unauthorized access. They know about the artillery improvements, he reports during emergency meeting at Miriam's house. Chosen because Jewish quarter surveillance appears less comprehensive than other districts. The questions they asked suggest detailed knowledge to technical specifications that only a handful of people possess. Elena's analysis of surveillance patterns reveals systematic foreign intelligence operations involving dozens of agents whose coordination indicates extensive preparation for eliminating resistance before military action begins. They're not improvising, she observes while examining reports from her network throughout the city. This represents months of planning designed to identify and neutralize potential opposition before conquest attempts. The solution requires expanding their security measures while accelerating plans for exposing the conspiracy before enemy counterintelligence eliminates their capabilities. But increased operational tempo increases risks of detection, while compressed timeline reduces opportunities for careful preparation that complex operations require. Caterina's political intelligence provides strategic framework for understanding enemy timeline. The French mobilization requires logistical preparation that intelligence suggests will be complete within 4 days. Spanish naval coordination depends upon wind conditions that seasonal patterns make optimal during the week following. We have perhaps 6 days before coordinated attack begins, yet 3 days before our window for effective countermeasures closes. Their response requires coordinating simultaneously defensive measures, protecting their organization and offensive operations, exposing the conspiracy, while preparing popular resistance that could make foreign conquest too costly to sustain. The complexity demands perfect execution, while accepting risks that could result in complete elimination of organized opposition if any element fails. Dr. Benedetti's role involves expanding medical investigation to include examination of government officials whose deaths created political opportunities for pro-foreign candidates, while his plague doctor identity enables movement throughout the city, providing intelligence about continued conspiracy activities. His morning examinations reveal additional cases of systematic poisoning targeting specific individuals whose influence opposed foreign intervention. The pattern extends to Senate membership, he reports, while displaying evidence collected from examination of recently deceased officials. Senator Marco Contarni's death last month resulted from poison administration rather than natural causes, while his replacement voted consistently for policies supporting foreign trade concessions that the original senator opposed. Miriam's chemical analysis confirms systematic use of compounds requiring sophisticated knowledge, while their availability suggests supply network extending beyond local resources. The poisons employed include substances imported from North Africa and Eastern Mediterranean sources, she observes while examining residue samples. The acquisition suggests commercial relationships that foreign agents could establish, but Venetian criminals could not access independently. Meanwhile, Giacomo's theatrical network provides intelligence about popular sentiment and official responses that conventional sources cannot obtain. His evening performance includes subtle references to systematic murder and foreign conspiracy, while audience reactions indicate both widespread suspicion about official explanations and readiness for resistance that proper organization could mobilize effectively. The population suspects official corruption, he reports after analyzing crowd responses to political references embedded in comedic performances. Yet their fear prevents direct action that leadership could coordinate. Theatrical presentation could provide emotional preparation for resistance, while creating psychological foundation that rational arguments alone cannot establish. Day 6, August 15th, 1665, the Feast of the Assumption. The religious festival that annually celebrates divine protection of Venice provides perfect cover for coordinated revelation that will either expose the foreign conspiracy or result in belination of everyone whose resistance threatens enemy conquest plans. The convergence of religious observance, popular celebration, and political crisis creates unique opportunity for transforming the city's spiritual devotion into temporal resistance. The morning begins with traditional religious observances that attract maximum crowds to public spaces where coordinated revelations could achieve unprecedented popular impact. The 6 conspirators position themselves throughout the city in locations that enable simultaneous presentation of evidence, while providing mutual support against retaliation. That exposure will certainly provoke. Alessandro stations himself at the Basilica of San Marco, where plague doctor's distinctive appearance attracts attention, while religious setting provides moral authority for accusations of systematic murder. His medical evidence, prepared through days of careful documentation, proves definitively that dozens of deaths attributed to plague actually resulted from deliberate poisoning serving political objectives. Caterina positions herself at the Doge's palace, where aristocratic status enables access to governmental officials, while her European correspondence provides proof of foreign conspiracy that individual accusations could never substantiate. Her political intelligence reveals systematic coordination between external enemies and internal collaborators whose betrayal threatens Venice's independence. Marco establishes himself at the arsenal, where engineering expertise enables demonstration, where weapons innovations, while his knowledge of foreign recruitment efforts provides evidence of systematic attempt to corrupt Venice's defensive capabilities. His technical analysis proves that enemy agents possess detailed intelligence about military preparations that security breaches enabled them to obtain. Miriam takes position at the Rialto Bridge, where commercial activity ensures diverse audiences, while her medical reputation lends credibility to accusations of systematic poisoning that conventional physicians missed or concealed. Her chemical evidence provides scientific foundation for criminal charges that legal investigation must address. Giacomo positions himself at the Teatro San Cassiano, where theatrical performance creates artistic framework for political revelation, while entertainment format ensures maximum popular attention to messages that direct political discourse could not safely express. His dramatic presentation transforms criminal accusations into popular theater that engages emotional as well as rational responses. Elena coordinates intelligence distribution throughout the city, her network ensuring that revelations appear simultaneously at multiple locations, while providing real-time assessment of popular and official responses that enable tactical adjustments to maximize effectiveness while minimizing retaliation risks. Coordinated revelation begins at precisely noon, when festival celebrations reach maximum intensity, while religious atmosphere provides moral foundation for accusations of systematic evil disguised as natural disaster. Alessandro's presentation of medical evidence proves systematic poisoning, while Caterina's political exposition reveals foreign conspiracy threatening Venice's independence. Citizens of Venice, Alessandro's voice carries across the piazza through acoustics perfected by 8 centuries of public oratory. The deaths that we have mourned as divine punishment actually represent human evil exploiting religious fear to conceal political crime. The plague that we fear is real, but the systematic murder that masquerades as pestilence serves enemies who would destroy our city through methods that military conquest alone could never achieve. B. Evidence that he presents includes detailed chemical analysis, proving deliberate poisoning. Testimony from survivors whose recovery demonstrates the difference between authentic plague and criminal conspiracy, and documentation of systematic patterns that reveal coordination, requiring extensive organization and foreign resources. Caterina's simultaneous presentation at the Doge's palace provides political context, transforming individual murders into comprehensive understanding of coordinated campaign designed to eliminate Venice through methods combining military pressure, economic disruption, diplomatic isolation, and domestic subversion. The enemy we face includes not only foreign armies, but domestic traitors whose betrayal serves personal advancement while destroying civic freedom that defines our identity. She declares, while displaying correspondence proving foreign gold reached Venetian officials. The French preparation involves 40,000 troops. Spanish coordinate naval blockade. Austrian diplomacy provides legal justification for eliminating republican institutions, threatening monarchical legitimacy throughout Europe. Marco's demonstration at the arsenal provides both practical preparation for defense and proof that Venice possesses capabilities for effective resistance, despite enemy advantages in conventional forces. The weapons innovations he displays represent technological superiority that could compensate for numerical disadvantages while they're public. Demonstration creates psychological preparation for resistance that theoretical discussions could never achieve. Venice need not submit to foreign conquest. He announces while test-firing artillery pieces whose range and accuracy exceed anything enemy forces possess. These innovations provide military advantages that could restore naval supremacy, while fortifications I've designed could make our city impregnable against siege warfare that conventional defense could not sustain. Miriam's presentation at the Rialto provides final proof of conspiracy's criminal nature, while demonstrating possibilities for cooperation, transcending religious boundaries in service of common survival. Her evidence about systematic poisoning includes specific identification of perpetrators, while her treatments of actual plague victims provide living proof that medical knowledge can overcome natural disease when criminal activity does not complicate diagnosis and treatment. The healing arts serve truth as well as health, she declares, while presenting patients whose recovery demonstrates effective plague treatment, while exposing the difference between natural disease and deliberate murder. The knowledge, my people, preserved through centuries of persecution, now serves all Venetians, whose survival depends upon distinguishing between divine trial and human evil. Giacomo's theatrical synthesis at Teatro San Cassiano transforms the day's revelations into artistic performance, ensuring maximum emotional impact while creating artistic protection against charges of seditious activity. The dramatic techniques he employs enable popular participation that transforms political crisis into collective resistance, while ensuring truth cannot be suppressed despite official attempts at censorship. Citizens of Venice, he concludes, while orchestrating crowd responses, creating theatrical crescendo. The choice before us involves not merely political survival, but civilizational destiny. We can preserve freedom our ancestors purchased with blood and treasure, or accept foreign domination, reducing us to provincial dependency, whose prosperity serves imperial ambition rather than civic welfare. Elena's intelligence coordination ensures that revelations achieve maximum impact while providing real-time assessment of responses that enable tactical adjustments, maximizing effectiveness. Per network throughout the city reports widespread popular acceptance of evidence, while indicating official confusion about appropriate response to accusations whose proof cannot be dismissed or denied. Part 3. The Crimson Masquerade. Day 7. August 16, 1665. The popular response to coordinated revelation exceeds even optimistic predictions about Venice's capacity for resistance, as crowds that gathered for religious celebration transform into organized opposition, whose determination transcends individual fear of personal consequences. The evidence of systematic betrayal creates popular anger that official propaganda cannot control, while proof of foreign conspiracy generates patriotic fervor that political calculation could never achieve. But success also provokes immediate retaliation that tests every aspect of their security arrangements, while demonstrating enemy capabilities for counterintelligence and direct action that individual resistance could never overcome. The arrests begin before dawn, targeting peripheral figures whose interrogation could reveal information enabling systematic elimination of resistance networks throughout Venice. Marco's morning brings disturbing news from Arsenal contacts. Foreign agents have initiated systematic sabotage of weapons facilities, while their recruitment efforts have succeeded in corrupting several key craftsmen, whose knowledge enables destruction of innovations that could restore Venice's defensive capabilities. His engineering workshop shows evidence of deliberate damage, requiring expertise that random vandalism could not provide. They're not merely gathering intelligence anymore. He reports during emergency meeting at Caterina's palazzo, chosen because aristocratic privilege provides better protection against immediate arrest than other available locations. The sabotage operations suggest a systematic campaign to eliminate our technical advantages while ensuring their military superiority cannot be challenged through innovation. Alessandro's medical practice faces similar threats as foreign agents. Attempt to discredit his poison investigation through accusations of professional misconduct, while systematic intimidation of witnesses threatens to eliminate evidence that legal prosecution requires. His morning examinations reveal additional assassination attempts, using increasingly sophisticated methods that suggest escalating desperation. Among conspiracy members who recognize exposure threatens their survival. The poisoning techniques are becoming more elaborate, he observes while examining tissue samples from recent victims whose deaths barely escaped detection as criminal rather than natural. The compounds employed require advanced chemical knowledge, while their application suggests systematic training that conventional criminal activity could not provide. Miriam's position in the Jewish quarter provides relative protection against immediate persecution. Yet increased surveillance and systematic questioning of her patients indicates foreign agents recognize her medical expertise as crucial for exposing their systematic murder campaign. Her mourning brings desperate Christian clients whose families face arrest for seeking Jewish medical treatment that conventional physicians cannot provide. The community pressure is increasing. She reports while treating patients whose conditions result from authentic plague rather than deliberate poisoning. Yet, the cooperation we've established demonstrates possibilities for religious tolerance that could survive current crisis if resistance succeeds in preserving Venice's cosmopolitan traditions. Caterina's aristocratic status provides protection against immediate arrest, while her political connections enable assessment of governmental responses that reveal both loyalty and betrayal within official institutions. Her morning correspondence indicates systematic foreign pressure on remaining honest officials, while domestic collaborators increase efforts to eliminate resistance before military intervention begins. The Senate debate reveals fundamental division. between patriots and collaborators. She explains, while examining intelligence about governmental discussions that official secrecy attempts to conceal. Senator Paolo Ranier leads pro-foreign faction, whose arguments emphasize accommodation rather than resistance. While his influence could prevent effective mobilization despite popular support for defending independence, Giacomo's theatrical community faces systematic censorship, designed to eliminate artistic expression that could inspire continued resistance. While foreign agents infiltrate audiences to identify individuals whose reactions suggest sympathy for position messages. His morning rehearsal reveals surveillance techniques that threaten to transform entertainment venues into intelligence-gathering operations, serving enemy interests. The artistic freedom we've enjoyed is disappearing, he observes, while modifying performance plans to account for hostile surveillance that could transform theatrical presentations into evidence for treason prosecutions. Yet, the popular response to our revelations suggests widespread readiness for resistance, that proper coordination could transform into effective action. Elena's intelligence network faces systematic counterintelligence operations designed to identify and eliminate sources whose information enables resistance coordination, while foreign agents attempt to penetrate her organization through double agents whose loyalty serves enemy rather than Venetian interests. Her morning brings reports of arrests throughout her network that could compromise operational security for remaining resistance activities. The enemy counterintelligence capabilities exceed our previous estimates, she warns, while examining evidence of systematic betrayal within resistance networks that foreign infiltration has achieved. We face not only external enemies, but internal betrayal that could destroy organized opposition before military conquest becomes necessary. The solution requires accelerating their timeline, while expanding operations to include direct action that could eliminate key conspiracy members. Enemy retaliation destroys resistance capabilities, yet increased operational tempo increases detection risks, while compressed preparation time reduces opportunities for careful planning that complex operations typically require. The plan that emerges from urgent consultation represents synthesis of desperation and determination, accepting risks that could result in complete destruction of organized resistance, while recognizing that inaction guarantees defeat through systematic elimination of opposition capabilities. The strategy involves coordinated assault on conspiracy's key figures during Carnival. Preparations that provide cover for activities requiring movement and coordination throughout the Peace City. Day 8, August 17th, 1665. The morning that will determine Venice's fate brings preparation for operations that could either eliminate the foreign conspiracy or result in complete destruction of resistance capabilities, while ensuring foreign conquest encounters no organized opposition. The timeline allows no margin for error, while enemy counterintelligence operations increase pressure on every aspect of their coordination. The target selection reflects strategic analysis of conspiracy's organizational structure. Dr. Filippo Grimani, whose medical expertise enables systematic poisoning. Senator Paolo Ranier, whose political influence facilitates foreign coordination. Captain Alvise Mochnigo, whose military position enables intelligence transmission to enemy forces. Merchant Giovanni Saronzo, whose commercial relationships provide financial support for conspiracy operations. And Father Lorenzo Priuli, whose religious authority provides moral justification for collaboration with foreign powers. The coordinated elimination of these 5 figures, accomplished simultaneously during carnival celebrations that provide maximum concealment for activities requiring surprise and precision, would destroy conspiracies' operational capabilities while providing definitive proof of foreign intervention. That popular resistance could rally around Alessandro's role involves direct confrontation with Dr. Grimani during medical consultation that provides opportunity for accusation and elimination, while ensuring maximum witness testimony that prevents incident from being dismissed as professional rivalry. His plague doctor costume provides both identity, concealment, and symbolic authority, while his medical evidence creates legal justification for actions that serve justice rather than personal vengeance. Dr. Grimani Alessandro announces during the morning medical assembly at the Ospedale della Pietà, his voice carrying through the hall where Venice's physicians gather for daily consultation. Your falsified death certificates have enabled systematic murder masquerading as plague casualties. The chemical evidence proves your complicity in crimes that threaten every Venetian family. The confrontation that follows reveals both Grimani's guilt and his foreign connections, as his defensive responses include details about poison acquisition that only extensive foreign contacts could provide. His attempt to dismiss accusations as professional jealousy fails when chemical analysis proves systematic murder that his death certificates concealed through deliberate falsification. You cannot prove such accusations. Grimani protests, while his nervous manner confirms guilt that medical evidence has already established. These charges serve foreign enemies seeking to create internal division that justifies military intervention. But Alessandro's preparation proves overwhelming. The tissue samples, chemical analysis, and witness testimony he presents provide undeniable proof of systematic murder, while Grimani's responses reveal knowledge of poison sources that domestic criminal activity could not access. The physician's confession, extracted through pressure that combines moral authority with physical evidence, provides detailed information about conspiracy operations, while identifying other participants whose elimination would disrupt foreign plans. Simultaneously, Caterina confronts Senator Renier during Senate session, where political debate provides cover for accusations that transform legislative discussion into dramatic revelation of systematic betrayal. Her aristocratic status enables direct challenge to his authority, while her documented correspondence proves foreign collaboration that constitutional principles forbid. Senator Renier, she declares from the gallery where aristocratic privilege enables participation in governmental proceedings. Your correspondence with French agents proves systematic betrayal of civic trust, while your Senate votes consistently support policies serving foreign rather than Venetian interests. The political evidence she presents includes decoded letters, revealing financial arrangements between Renier and foreign governments, while her analysis of his voting patterns demonstrates persistent support for policies weakening Venice's independence while strengthening foreign influence. The senator's defensive responses reveal additional information about foreign coordination, while his attempt to justify collaboration exposes other officials whose loyalty serves external rather than civic interests. These accusations represent foreign propaganda designed to create internal division. Renier responds, while his increasingly desperate manner suggests recognition that exposure threatens more than political embarrassment. The policies I support serve Venice's practical interests in a changing European environment that requires accommodation rather than futile resistance. But Caterina's documentation proves systematic betrayal, that political convenience cannot excuse the financial records showing foreign payments, the correspondence revealing coordination with enemy agents, and the voting analysis demonstrating consistent support for policies serving foreign interests create overwhelming evidence of treason that Senate authority cannot dismiss or conceal. Marco's confrontation with Captain Mocenigo takes place at the arsenal, where military setting provides appropriate context for accusations of systematic betrayal, while his engineering expertise enables identification of intelligence leaks that compromise Venice's defensive preparations. His technical knowledge proves foreign agents possess detailed information about weapons innovations that security procedures should have protected. Captain Mocenigo, Marco announces during arsenal inspection, where military officers review defensive preparations. Your communications with foreign agents have compromised every aspect of our military planning, while your intelligence reports enable enemy forces to avoid our strongest defensive positions. The evidence he presents includes technical documents found in foreign possession that only Mocenigo's position could have provided, while intercepted correspondence reveals systematic intelligence transmission serving enemy rather than Venetian interests. The captain's defensive responses confirm guilt while revealing additional information about foreign military preparations that resistance planning requires. Such accusations threaten military discipline during crisis, requiring unity rather than internal suspicion. Mocenigo protests, while his knowledge of foreign plans confirms the intelligence transmission that Marco's investigation has documented. The defensive preparations you question serve practical security requirements rather than treasonous collaborations. But Marco's technical analysis proves systematic intelligence leaks that military necessity cannot justify. The foreign possession of detailed arsenal plans, the enemy knowledge of weapons capabilities, and the systematic compromise of defensive positions create evidence of betrayal that military authority cannot explain through legitimate security procedures. Miriam's confrontation with merchant Sorenzo occurs at the Rialto market, where commercial setting provides cover for accusations, while her medical authority enables identification of poison acquisition networks, that is, commercial relationships facilitated. Her chemical analysis proves systematic supply operations that legitimate trade could not explain. Merchant Soronzo, she declares, during market activity, where commercial disputes provide cover for more serious accusations. Your trading relationships provided poison compounds enabling systematic murder, while your financial arrangements support foreign agents whose activities threaten Venice's survival. The evidence she presents includes chemical analysis, proving foreign poison sources that his commercial networks enabled, while financial records reveal payments serving enemy rather than legitimate business interests. The merchant's defensive responses confirm commercial collaboration while revealing additional information about foreign financial operations that resistance activities must address. These accusations threaten commercial relationships essential for Venice's economic survival. Soronzo responds, while his detailed knowledge of foreign trading arrangements confirms. The collaboration that Miriam's investigation has documented, the business relationships you question serve practical commercial requirements rather than treasonous conspiracy. But Miriam's chemical evidence proves systematic poison supply that legitimate commerce cannot justify. The foreign compound sources, the systematic distribution networks, and the financial arrangements supporting enemy operations create proof of betrayal that commercial necessity cannot excuse. Finally, Elena's confrontation with Father Prior takes place at San Giorgio Maggiore, where religious setting provides moral authority for accusations, while her intelligence network enables proof of foreign correspondence that his clerical position facilitated. Her documentation reveals systematic coordination between religious authority and foreign agents whose activities violate spiritual as well as temporal obligations. Father Priuli, she announces during religious service, where moral authority provides appropriate context for accusations of spiritual betrayal. Your correspondence with foreign agents has provided moral justification for policies serving enemy interests, while your religious influence has convinced honest citizens to accept collaboration disguised as political accommodation. The evidence she presents includes theological documents justifying foreign domination that his religious authority created, while correspondence reveals coordination with enemy agents whose activities threaten Venice's spiritual as well as political independence. The priest's defensive responses confirm religious collaboration, while revealing additional information about foreign propaganda operations that popular resistance must counter. These accusations serve enemies seeking to create internal division during crisis, requiring spiritual unity. Priuli responds, while his detailed knowledge of foreign theological arguments confirms the intellectual collaboration that investigation has documented. The accommodations I recommend serve practical requirements for preserving Venice's Christian character despite changing political circumstances. But Elena's intelligence proves systematic propaganda operations that religious obligation cannot justify. The foreign theological influences, the systematic moral justification for collaboration, and the intellectual arguments supporting enemy policies create evidence of spiritual betrayal that religious authority cannot excuse through theological necessity. The simultaneous exposure of all 5 conspiracy leaders creates political earthquake that transforms Venice's crisis from gradual submission to foreign pressure into dramatic confrontation between patriotic resistance and treasonous collaboration. The evidence presented through coordinated accusations proves systematic foreign intervention while identifying domestic participants whose elimination could disrupt enemy plans. But success also provokes immediate retaliation that tests every aspect of resistance security, while enemy counterintelligence operations attempt to eliminate key figures before their coordination can achieve decisive victory. The response comes within hours, as foreign military forces advance their timeline, while domestic collaborators attempt to eliminate resistance leaders through systematic assassination that could destroy organized opposition. Day 9, August 18th, 1665. The dawn that should have brought foreign invasion instead brings desperate struggle between resistance forces whose coordination has disrupted enemy plans and foreign agents whose systematic preparation now faces unexpected opposition, requiring tactical adaptation. The timeline that intelligence suggested has accelerated, while enemy capabilities for direct action exceed previous estimates of foreign intervention methods. The morning brings simultaneous attacks on all 6 resistance leaders, as foreign agents recognize that elimination of their coordination could restore original conquest plans, while systematic assassination would eliminate organized opposition that military action alone could not overcome. The survival of resistance capabilities depends upon defensive measures that individual precautions could never provide, while their continued effectiveness requires tactical cooperation that circumstances make increasingly difficult. Morning brings assassins disguised as plague victims, their systematic approach to his residence indicating foreign intelligence about his daily routines, while their weapons and methods suggest professional training that domestic criminal activity could not provide. His plague doctor costume provides protection against initial assault, while his medical knowledge enables identification of poison weapons that conventional attack methods do not employ. The fight that follows tests both his physical capabilities and strategic thinking, as multiple attackers require tactical responses that medical training never anticipated, while their coordination suggests systematic preparation that individual criminal activity could not achieve. His survival depends upon assistance from Caterina's household guards, whose aristocratic training provides military capabilities that medical expertise alone could not supply. The attack methods suggest extensive intelligence about my routines, Alessandro reports during emergency meeting at the arsenal, chosen because Marco's military position provides better security than other available locations. The coordination and weapons employed indicate professional assassination capabilities that domestic criminal organizations could not provide without foreign training and resources. Caterina's mourning brings political pressure designed to eliminate her influence through charges of treason that her aristocratic status cannot protect against. When backed by accusations of correspondence with foreign enemies, her survival depends upon counter-accusations that transform defensive legal proceedings into offensive exposure of official collaboration with actual enemy agents whose activities threaten Venice's independence. The charges against me reveal systematic attempt to eliminate resistance leadership while protecting actual collaborators whose activities serve foreign interests. She explains while examining legal documents that attempt to transform patriotic resistance into treasonous activity. The timing suggests coordination with military pressure designed to eliminate internal opposition before invasion begins. Marco's mourning brings systematic sabotage of arsenal facilities as foreign agents attempt to eliminate weapons innovations that could restore Venice's military advantages, while their technical knowledge suggests infiltration of security procedures that should have prevented unauthorized access to sensitive military information. His engineering expertise enables assessment of damage while revealing enemy capabilities that conventional intelligence could not have provided. The sabotage operations target specific innovations whose destruction would eliminate our technical advantages. He reports while examining damage that requires detailed knowledge of weapons systems to accomplish effectively. The precision suggests foreign agents possess complete intelligence about our defensive capabilities, while their systematic approach indicates preparation extending beyond immediate tactical requirement. Miriam's mourning brings pressure designed to eliminate her medical expertise through accusations of witchcraft that religious prejudice enables, while her Jewish identity prevents legal protection that Christian practitioners would receive despite identical professional activities. Her survival depends upon support from Christian patients, whose lives her treatments have saved, while their testimony provides proof of medical effectiveness that religious accusations cannot overcome. The accusations reveal systematic attempt to eliminate medical evidence that proves foreign conspiracy while exploiting religious prejudice to prevent legal protection. She explains while treating patients whose recovery demonstrates healing capabilities that accusers claim result from supernatural rather than natural knowledge. The timing suggests coordination with broader campaign to eliminate resistance capabilities through systematic persecution. Giacomo's mourning brings censorship designed to eliminate theatrical presentations, while foreign agents infiltrate audiences to identify resistance sympathizers whose activities could support continued opposition to foreign intervention. His artistic expertise enables continued performances, despite official restrictions, while his theatrical techniques provide concealment for political messages that direct censorship cannot prevent. The censorship operations reveal systematic attempt to eliminate popular mobilization while controlling information that could inspire resistance. He reports while modifying performance plans to account for hostile surveillance that threatens to transform entertainment into intelligence gathering serving enemy interests. The coordination suggests foreign recognition that artistic expression provides capabilities for popular organization that political suppression alone cannot eliminate. Elena's mourning brings systematic counterintelligence operations designed to tell you how to eliminate her network, while foreign agents attempt to identify sources whose information enables resistance coordination. Her survival depends upon security measures that professional espionage training has provided, while her continued effectiveness requires operational modifications that circumstance demands, despite increased risk of detection. The counterintelligence operations suggest foreign capabilities exceeding our previous estimates, while their systematic approach indicates extensive preparation for eliminating resistance networks. She warns, while assessing damage to intelligence operations, that enemy infiltration has achieved. The timing suggests recognition that organized opposition threatens conquest plans, while systematic elimination could restore original timeline for foreign intervention. The coordination that their desperate circumstances require involves simultaneous defensive measures protecting individual survival and offensive operations that could eliminate remaining enemy capabilities before foreign military forces complete mobilization. The complexity demands perfect execution, while accepting risks that could result in complete elimination of organized resistance if tactical coordination fails to achieve decisive results. The plan that emerges represents synthesis of desperation and strategic thinking, acknowledging that conventional defensive measures cannot protect against enemy capabilities, while recognizing that coordinated offensive action could eliminate threats that individual resistance could never address effectively. The strategy involves direct assault on foreign command structure during Carnival Masquerade that provides cover for activities requiring surprise and precision. Day 10, August 19th, 1665. The Carnival of Blood. The morning of Venice's greatest carnival celebration brings preparation for operations that will either eliminate foreign conspiracy or result in complete destruction of resistance capabilities while ensuring future. Historians record whether Venice died as independent republic or survived through successful defense of civic freedom against systematic foreign intervention. The Carnival Masquerade provides perfect cover for coordinated action, as traditional celebrations enable movement and coordination throughout the city, while masks and costumes create identity concealment that security procedures cannot penetrate through conventional surveillance methods. The religious significance of pre-Lenten celebration provides moral authority for actions, serving justice, while popular participation ensures maximum witness testimony that prevents official suppression of evidence. The target represents foreign command structure. Cardinal Alessandro Benedetti, whose Vatican position provides diplomatic cover for intelligence coordination. Colonel Henry de Montmorency, whose French military expertise directs systematic sabotage operations. Captain Diego Mendoza, whose Spanish naval background coordinates blockade preparations. Baron Friedrich von Habsburg, whose Austrian diplomatic status provides legal justification for intervention, and Dr. Johannes van der Berg, whose Dutch commercial connections provide financial support for conspiracy operations. The coordinated elimination of these 5 figures accomplished simultaneously during carnival celebrations that attract maximum crowds, while providing concealment for activities requiring precision timing, would destroy foreign command capabilities while providing definitive proof of international conspiracy that popular resistance could rally around, despite official attempts at suppression. Alessandro's assignment involves confronting Cardinal Albani during religious procession, where papal authority provides cover for activities, while his plague doctor costume enables approach without detection. His medical expertise provides knowledge of human anatomy, while his moral authority enables actions serving justice rather than personal vengeance. Your Eminence Alessandro approaches during procession, where religious crowds provide concealment, while ceremonial atmosphere prevents immediate retaliation. The systematic murder you have coordinated violates every principle of Christian charity, while your correspondence with foreign agents proves betrayal of spiritual obligations. The confrontation that follows reveals both Albani's guilt and his foreign connections, as his defensive responses include details about international coordination that only extensive enemy contacts could provide. His attempt to claim diplomatic immunity fails when medical evidence proves systematic murder that religious authority cannot justify through theological necessity. Caterina's assignment involves Colonel Montmorency during masquerade ball, where social celebration provides cover, while her aristocratic status enables access that security procedures would otherwise prevent. Her political expertise provides understanding of international relations, while her documented evidence proves systematic foreign interference. Colonel, she addresses him during dance that provides opportunity for close conversation without surveillance detection. Your military expertise has coordinated sabotage operations, while your intelligence activities have compromised Venice. Defensive preparations in violation of diplomatic protocols governing foreign military attach responsibilities. The evidence she presents during their interaction includes technical documents proving foreign possession of military intelligence that diplomatic channels should not provide, while her analysis of sabotage patterns demonstrates systematic coordination that individual criminal activity could not achieve. The Colonel's responses reveal additional information about French military preparations, while confirming foreign command structure that resistance operations must eliminate. Marco's assignment involves Captain Mendoza during arsenal demonstration, where military setting provides appropriate context, while his engineering expertise enables identification of naval intelligence that foreign agents should not possess. His technical knowledge proves systematic intelligence transmission serving enemy interests. Captain Marco confronts him during weapons demonstration that attracts military observers from various nations. Your naval expertise has provided detailed intelligence about our defensive capabilities while your coordination with French military operations violates every principle governing diplomatic observation of foreign military facilities. The technical analysis he presents includes intercepted correspondence proving Spanish naval coordination with French military planning, while his documentation of intelligence leaks demonstrates systematic betrayal that diplomatic necessity cannot justify. The captain's responses confirm naval blockade preparations, while revealing timing that resistance planning requires. Miriam's assignment involves Baron von Habsburg during medical consultation, where healing context provides cover, while her Jewish identity enables approach that Christian practitioners might find diplomatically complicated. Her chemical expertise provides evidence of poison supply networks that his diplomatic status facilitates. Baron, she addresses him during consultation that diplomatic courtesy requires he attend despite personal prejudice. Your commercial relationships have facilitated poison acquisition, while your diplomatic correspondence has provided legal justification for policies serving Austrian rather than Venetian interests. B. Evidence she presents includes chemical analysis proving foreign poison sources that his diplomatic networks enable, while correspondence reveals systematic coordination between Austrian policy and local conspiracy operations. The Baron's responses confirm imperial intentions, while revealing legal framework that foreign intervention employs. Elena's assignment involves Dr. van der Berg during commercial meeting, where business context provides cover, while her intelligence expertise enables identification of financial networks that his Dutch connections coordinate. Her documentation proves systematic funding serving enemy interests. Doctor, she approaches during commercial consultation, where international business provides appropriate setting. Your financial arrangements have supported foreign agents, while your commercial networks have provided resources enabling systematic subversion of Venice's political independence. The intelligence she presents includes financial records proving Dutch coordination with other foreign powers, while her analysis of commercial relationships demonstrates systematic support for conspiracy operations that legitimate trade could not justify. The doctor's responses confirm international financial coordination, while revealing resource capabilities that resistance planning must address. The simultaneous confrontation of all 5 foreign leaders during Carnival celebration creates dramatic climax that transforms Venice's crisis from gradual submission to foreign pressure into decisive battle between independence and domination. The evidence presented through coordinated accusations proves international conspiracy, while the popular witness testimony prevents official suppression of revelations that could inspire continued resistance. The response that follows tests every aspect of resistance capabilities, while foreign retaliation attempts to eliminate opposition through systematic violence that diplomatic protocols cannot justify, yet political necessity seems to require. The survival of Venice's independence depends upon popular mobilization that coordinated revelation has inspired, while organized resistance must overcome foreign advantages in resources and systematic preparation. The battle that erupts throughout Venice involves not only direct combat between resistance forces and foreign agents, but also popular uprising that transforms political crisis into social revolution, challenging every assumption about governmental authority and popular sovereignty that European political theory has established. The outcome determines not merely Venice's immediate fate, but precedents that could influence European political development for generations. Part 4. The Last Dance. The Battle for Venice. August 19th to 21st, 1665. The 3 days that determine Venice's survival test every aspect of resistance capabilities while demonstrating both the potential effectiveness of popular mobilization and the systematic foreign preparation that threatens to overwhelm even coordinated opposition through superior resources and military expertise that individual courage cannot overcome through determination alone. The first day brings street fighting that spreads throughout the city as foreign agents attempt to eliminate resistance leaders while popular uprising challenges official authority that collaboration with enemy interests has compromised. The morning confrontations during carnival celebration expand into systematic combat, involving thousands of participants whose individual decisions determine collective outcomes that will influence European political development. Dr. Alessandro Benedetti finds himself leading medical corps that treats casualties from both sides, while his plague, Dr. Costume, becomes symbol of resistance to foreign domination. His medical knowledge proves crucial for maintaining civilian morale, while his investigation expertise enables continued identification of enemy agents whose activities threaten resistance coordination. The wounded include both patriotic citizens and foreign infiltrators. He reports while treating injuries that street fighting has produced throughout the city. The medical evidence confirms international participation in systematic violence, while proving popular determination that foreign preparation did not anticipate. Lady Caterina Grimaldi coordinates political resistance that transforms street fighting into constitutional crisis. As popular uprising challenges governmental authority, while aristocratic leadership provides framework for legitimate opposition, pull to policies serving foreign rather than Venetian interests. Her political expertise proves essential for maintaining resistance unity, while her European connections enable diplomatic initiatives that could influence international response to Venice's struggle. The popular response exceeds every prediction about Venice's capacity for resistance. She observes while coordinating activities that span multiple districts despite communication difficulties that combat creates. The citizens' determination demonstrates possibilities for republican government that absolute monarchy cannot eliminate through military pressure alone. Master Marco Foglia leads arsenal workers whose technical expertise proves crucial for resistance effectiveness, as his weapons innovations provide military advantages that compensate for numerical disadvantages, while his knowledge of defensive positions enables tactical coordination that conventional military training could not achieve under current circumstances. The innovations we've developed are proving decisive, he reports, while directing artillery operations that prevent foreign forces from establishing secure positions within the city. The weapons provide advantages that could restore our independence. If popular support continues despite casualties that street fighting inevitably produces. Miriam Bat Avraham maintains medical services that transcend religious boundaries, while her chemical expertise enables identification of foreign poison weapons that conventional combat methods do not employ. Her treatments save lives from both communities, while her collaboration with Christian physicians demonstrates possibilities for social cooperation that survives political crisis. The cooperation between our communities has strengthened rather than weakened during crisis, she observes while treating casualties whose survival depends upon medical knowledge that religious prejudice would normally prevent from being shared. The emergency has created precedents for tolerance that could benefit both populations if Venice's independence survives current challenges. Giacomo Benedetto leads theatrical community whose artistic skills prove valuable for popular mobilization, as his performances provide emotional framework for resistance, while creating communication networks that enable coordination despite official attempts to suppress information that could inspire continued opposition to foreign intervention. The artistic community provides capabilities for popular organization that political suppression cannot eliminate, he reports, while coordinating cultural activities that maintain resistance. Morale, despite physical hardships that prolonged combat, creates. The performances create psychological foundation for continued resistance while demonstrating cultural values that foreign domination would destroy. Elena Morosini coordinates intelligence operations that prove essential for resistance effectiveness, as her network provides real-time information about enemy movements while enabling tactical coordination that maximizes popular capabilities. Despite foreign advantages in systematic preparation and military resources, the intelligence operations continue despite systematic counterintelligence efforts. She warns while providing information that enables resistance forces to avoid enemy traps while exploiting weaknesses that foreign coordination creates. Enemy capabilities remain formidable, while their systematic preparation provides advantages that individual courage cannot overcome without superior tactical coordination. The second day brings foreign military intervention as systematic violence escalates beyond police action to require army units, whose deployment represents official recognition that political accommodation has failed, while military conquest provides the only method for eliminating resistance that threatens foreign objectives throughout European political system. The French forces that cross Venetian territory encounter not the limited resistance that intelligence reports suggested, but organized position whose capabilities reflect both popular determination and technical innovations that enemy planning had not anticipated. The military engagement demonstrates both foreign advantages in conventional warfare and resistance capabilities that proper coordination could transform into successful defense. The Spanish naval blockade that should prevent reinforcement and resupply encounters systematic resistance from Venetian vessels, whose technical improvements enabled breakthrough attempts, while popular support provides resource mobilization that foreign intelligence had not predicted. The naval combat proves both Spanish superiority in conventional forces and Venetian potential for maritime resistance that technical innovation enables. The Austrian diplomatic pressure that should provide legal justification for military intervention encounters international opposition from other European powers whose interests conflict with Habsburg expansion, while popular resistance provides moral authority that diplomatic protocols cannot dismiss through legal technicalities. The coordinated foreign attack reveals both systematic preparation that months of planning have enabled and resistance capabilities that proper organization could mobilize for successful defense, despite numerical disadvantages that conventional analysis suggests should prove decisive. The third day brings resolution that determines Venice's immediate survival, while establishing precedents that influence European political development for generations. The outcome reflects both military effectiveness and diplomatic accommodation, as resistance success forces foreign powers to accept political arrangements that preserve essential Venetian characteristics, while acknowledging changed European circumstances that total resistance could not overcome. The Treaty of San Lorenzo, negotiated during ceasefire that mutual exhaustion makes necessary, establishes constitutional framework that preserves Venice's republican institutions, while accepting international supervision that limits complete independence. The arrangement demonstrates possibilities for accommodation that serves both foreign security interests and domestic freedom requirements without eliminating either side's essential objectives. Epilogue. 5 years later, August 19th, 1670. The 5th anniversary of the Carnival of Blood finds Venice transformed yet recognizably itself, as successful resistance has created adaptations that preserve essential characteristics, while accommodating political realities that complete defiance could not overcome. The annual commemoration brings together the 6 conspirators whose coordination saved their city, while their individual development reflects broader social changes that crisis has inspired. Dr. Alessandro Benedetti has become Venice's chief medical officer, his plague doctor identity transformed from symbol of death into representation of scientific progress that serves human welfare rather than merely diagnosing inevitable mortality. His collaboration with practitioners from all religious communities has created medical institutions that transcend traditional barriers while providing healthcare that benefits everyone, regardless of social or religious status. The diagnostic techniques that our crisis helped develop now serve human welfare throughout Europe. He observes while examining medical texts that document innovations resulting from wartime necessity. The knowledge that saved our city now benefits civilization through voluntary cooperation rather than military compulsion. Lady Caterina Grimaldi has married Marco Foglio. Their union, symbolizing the alliance between aristocratic wisdom and technical innovation that has enabled Venice's constitutional adaptation to changing European circumstances. Her political leadership has created governmental reforms that strengthen popular participation, while maintaining aristocratic institutions that provide continuity and diplomatic expertise. The constitutional arrangements we established provide models for parliamentary government that challenge absolute monarchy throughout Europe, she notes, while reviewing correspondence from Republican movements whose activities draw inspiration from Venice's successful defense. The precedents demonstrate possibilities for popular sovereignty that military pressure cannot eliminate through conventional conquest. Master Marco Foglio has developed arsenal innovations into commercial enterprises that serve peaceful trade rather than military preparation. His technical expertise enabling economic prosperity that sustains independence while providing benefits to international partners through voluntary exchange rather than imposed domination. His marriage to Caterina represents personal happiness that complements professional achievement serving public welfare. The innovations that preserved our independence now serve European commerce through peaceful cooperation. He explains, while examining engineering projects that utilize military developments for civilian purposes. The knowledge that enabled resistance now benefits civilization through voluntary collaboration rather than systematic conquest. Miriam Bat Abraham has established a medical school that welcomes students from all religious backgrounds. Her Jewish identity no longer preventing recognition of expertise that serves common welfare, while her collaboration with Christian physicians has created institutional arrangements preserving distinct cultural identities while enabling cooperation that benefits everyone. The medical cooperation that crisis required has created permanent institutions serving all communities. She observes, while teaching students whose diverse backgrounds reflect social changes that successful resistance has enabled. The precedents established during emergency now provide foundation for tolerance that serves practical as well as moral purposes. Giacomo Benedetto has developed theatrical productions that celebrate civic virtue while maintaining popular entertainment that reaches audiences throughout European cultural networks. His artistic achievements, representing Venice's continued cultural influence despite changed political circumstances. His marriage to Elena Morosini demonstrates personal relationships that transcend traditional social boundaries. The artistic techniques that mobilized resistance now celebrate cultural values that make independence meaningful. He explains, while preparing performances that maintain Republican traditions through artistic education, serving constructive rather than merely defensive purposes. The culture we preserved provides foundation for civilized life that makes political freedom worthwhile. Elena Morosini has transformed intelligence capabilities into commercial networks that serve honest enterprise while maintaining early warning systems that protect Venice against future threats through superior knowledge rather than military confrontation. Her marriage to Giacomo represents personal happiness that complements professional service to Venice's continuing security requirements. The intelligence networks that enabled coordination now serve peaceful commerce while maintaining capabilities that prevent future crises through diplomatic rather than military methods. She notes, while examining trade relationships that span Europe through voluntary cooperation, the security we achieved enables prosperity that makes resistance victory meaningful for future generations. Their annual gathering takes place in the same hidden chamber beneath San Marco where their original conspiracy began. Yet the atmosphere reflects confidence rather than desperation, as Venice's successful adaptation has created international respect that threatens no one, while preserving independence that defines Venetian identity. The conversation ranges over memories of dangerous coordination while planning continued activities that build upon their success. Their individual achievements demonstrating how crisis can inspire personal growth that serves collective welfare while their continued friendship proves that relationships forged through shared danger create bonds that prosperity cannot weaken. That wine they share carries toasts to fallen comrades, while their prayers seek continued wisdom for recognizing future challenges that could threaten the independence their sacrifice preserve. The incense smoke rises toward Byzantine mosaics whose golden figures witness another generation's commitment to principles that each age must defend anew when circumstances test. Whether civilization's highest achievements can survive forces reduce human existence to mere survival without dignity or hope. As evening concludes with traditional Venetian songs, whose melodies carry forward cultural memories that political change cannot eliminate, the six friends depart through routes that maintain operational security while carrying individual commitments to principles that their coordination proved could succeed despite overwhelming odds. When wisdom guides, courage and cooperation transcends personal limitations. The story of the plague doctor's last dance thus demonstrates that human potential for both greatness and failure depends upon individual choices that create collective outcomes, while providing specific example of how diverse talents can combine to preserve what matters most when circumstances test whether civilization's highest achievements can survive the forces that threaten to reduce human existence to mere struggle for survival. The end.